One really good half and one really bad half. Pretty much as simple as that. So disappointed, but there were some positives. But second half we certainly didn't play as well as we needed to, or anywhere near close. And I think some of our mistakes in the first half that didn't feel like they were significant caught up with us. So, disappointing result, but we did do a lot of good things along the way.
When you say first half mistakes, which ones do you feel like caught up with you? What stood out to you?
We just had some unforced turnovers, and you're going along and you're up 8, 10, 12 points, and even if the other team doesn't score on it, you've given away an opportunity and possession of the ball for a period of time in the game. So I'll have to look more closely at it on the film, but we came out and did what we wanted to do in the first half. Second half, they picked up their defense, and they made it harder on us to score, and we weren't able to get the stops the way we were in the first half.
How do you see them counter? Obviously, you go from shooting, I think, 61% in the first to, I think, a touch under 40 in the second. I mean, how did you see them pick up the defense, counter what you guys were doing?
Their level of force, level of presence increased. They went to more switching. That is something that they can put you up against the clock and things like that. But we just didn't do a great job with it. And if you're taking the ball out of the net, it becomes more difficult to be a downhill team on offense. And so, there were probably some things I could have called that may have helped us. So I think we all got to look in the mirror in the second half and figure out where we can do better.
You obviously complimented Holiday a lot in pregame, and obviously he was terrific, especially in the second half. Just what impressed you about him? How much of it was just him making plays? Was there anything you felt like guys broke down defensively, and did you think he was just making shots and making things happen?
Well, look, I don't know where he is. He's a top tier player in this league. He's a great player, and his impact on both ends really became a factor. Offensively, he got the ball in the paint. He jumped over us and made threes. He made twos. He assisted on a lot of buckets and a lot of their threes in the second half. So, he was a major fulcrum for what they were doing, really throughout the game. But in the second half, it became more pronounced. Bottom line is he's a great player. That's really difficult to deal with anytime, but you get a situation like this where, Middleton and Giannis are out, he's going to have the ball more and he's going to likely do more damage. And when we double teamed him, which we did frequently, they rotated and they were banging in threes all night. So it was tough.
There's a lot of obvious reasons why you missed Tyrese, but obviously one thing that made you guys really good at closing the fourth quarters was the time that he put into sort of changing the way he was approaching those. How much are you noticing his absence when it comes to late games that are close right now?
Listen, Tyrese is a great young player. He's certainly an all-star player, and we miss him a lot. That said, this game was winnable with the guys that we have available. We needed to be more efficient. Our attention to detail needed to be better. And you play a veteran team like Milwaukee with experienced guys. They got us with some nuance type plays in the fourth quarter. Little give and goes and cuts and stuff like that. And they've got guys that can make those plays that see the game that way. And so they did a lot more good things in the second half than we did, and in the first half, we were good, but we need to be better in the second.
I think McConnell had a career high in scoring by halftime. Just how discouraging is when you get a performance like that, the way he was going in the first half, and don't end up getting the win. That kind of.
Yeah, it was his first half was phenomenal. The 25 points, the four for 4 from 3, the juice that he brought to the game was amazing, and he did some good things in the second half, but they made some adjustments to him and other guys too, and so it became a tougher game for us in the second half. But we have a young group. We've got to learn from this. We'll look at some film of this tomorrow and see areas where we can get better, and we'll circle the wagons and get ready for Wednesday.
How good was it to see Myles, after missing 3, have this kind of night to have 30 after he was dealing with back all week and you didn't even know if you were going to have it until today?
Yeah, and this is another reason that the 3 previous games became much more difficult without him, because of what he does for us defensively and offensively too. So it's great to see him back out there. He was feeling good. And we'll just try to build on his period of recovery, and hope he feels better and better and better as we move along.
Yeah, it felt great. Especially being the first shot. Just, any shooter would tell you, man, let's just see that first one go down. I feel like they're in a rhythm, and that was the key for me.
With the obviously the second half fade, what did you see change? How were you defended differently, and how did they change the way they were defending you guys?
I just think that their offense was how it's supposed to be, man. They're moving the ball, they're turning down good shots for great shots, and they're really making us work on that end. And it's something that once you get on the offensive end, we don't have that same pop in our legs that we did in the first half. And, it's just it's a well-oiled machine over there. You got to give credit where credit's due. But we watch film tomorrow, so we can be better. Do you think there's a lot you guys can learn from them? I guess you just saw you talking here. Do you feel like there's a model in there for you guys? They've won a championship together. Anytime a team can do that, there's something to take away from them. So I think that a young team learn from a veteran team. That's what film is for. We'll definitely look our wounds and be ready for the next one. Obviously, a big part of what made you guys a second half team over the last couple weeks was Tyrese putting in a lot of time to figure out what you need to do at that point to get right. Has there been an adjustment in the second half, so you guys playing without him? Is that something you guys have to get kind of yourself back on? Next man up mentality. T.J. McConnell played his ass off today, so we can't say just because Tyrese is out, we're not popping. No, everybody's stepping up. Everybody's making the right plays, and I think that. That's what has to be for he gets back. So keep rolling. Just to go on TJ now, especially what he was doing the first half and knocking down 4 threes. I was just impressed with his confidence. I think that there's times he'll turn down those shots. He stepped into him and knocked him down. He puts in a lot of work on his shot. So something to get him out here and have a great game. Just to go back, after Wednesday, it was like an hour before the have you ever had anything like that before? And what was that like? I just think it was a random happening. I think, it was just a weird situation. I kind of bent over and picked something up and it just grabbed me. I wasn't able to get right for the game. So it was a precautionary thing. I probably could have tried to tough it out, but, at that point, there's no point in doing that, this point in the season. I think that if that was a playoff game, I would have tried to go out there and play, But, for me personally, I think having a few days off was good for me. So come out here with fresh legs. And be able to start the road trip off on a good note. Appreciate it, Myles Turner walked in late. We'll do one more, but just how good was it to get back out there? Felt great. I hate sitting out, man. I think that it's so tough. My mind is constantly racing when I'm watching, the guys out there and not out there. So just for me to be out there and be able to make a difference is
get that way, but be professional. You gotta trying to find the best little shot, whereas giving up yourself to get a better shot, or just making a play for your teammate. Screening better, rebounding, offenses, making winning plays just to get to be more efficient and more effective on that end in those last 6-7 minutes of the game to win out the close.
Solid, obviously got you guys for a bunch of minutes. What makes him just tough to deal with?
He's really good. I had him as my bet. And I was in New Orleans and watching him grow. He's a champion, and it's one of those guys I always look up to. And, what he's doing off the court and on the court, he's been great for the community and just being a good leader, man, a good father figure, and role model for a lot of young men around here in this league. And Drew's a prime example of a great dude, and on and off the basketball court, and a great player too. So he's doing well, man. Hats off to him.
How cool was it to see TJ go off early?
Really good, man. Especially like TJ, like we get to have 25-point games and 30-point games. See him go out there and have a career night like that. It's always great to share success. It sucks we didn't get the win for him, but hopefully that opportunity comes again for him again.
So Myles was saying you guys wanted to have the confidence to take those threes more.
Yeah.
He was putting them today. It was like, hoop is as big as the ocean. You don't really see him have that kind of confidence. How do you hope he takes something from that? Takes more of this.
So, shooting's overconfident, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He takes some bad ones, make some tough ones, but it's all confidence. And he's a guy that's been working on Jenny. I see him working pregame. He's working on his two all the time. And he's a confident guy. He plays with a lot of chip on his shoulder. You look at T.J. McConnell, you think like he's not an NBA player. The way he carries himself, the way he handles himself on the court, the way he plays, he brings energy, his toughness to his team. He has the confidence. The same thing with shooting, just turning over. Every shot you take, you
trying to see how they were playing me. They went under on them, and I just shot them with confidence. Got to continue to do that. And credit to my teammates for finding me. And a really great first half, but unfortunately, didn't put 4 quarters together. And that's the difference. A team like that will make you pay any mistake that you have.
When was the last time you felt like you were in a zone like that, shooting wise?
High school. Probably high school. Yeah. It felt good, but it's just about confidence. Shooting with confidence when you're open and making a pay.
What do you take out of a game like that where you play so well, particularly in the first half, but the team doesn't come out with a victory? And what's kind of your reaction after the game?
Yeah, I mean, we still got our franchise point guard out, so we know we're missing a double-double with him. But that we can't make excuses. Someone's going to have a great game every night. We just got to put 4 quarters together.
So again, what are the biggest lessons, I guess?
We only have time for a couple more because you got to get in the shower.
I'll make it super fast. My fault, you're good. What are the biggest lessons you learned from the second half? Obviously, they beat you 67-43 after the break. And what was different? What went wrong? You guys got to get right there.
Yeah, I mean, when in the second half, championship level teams slow you down and make you play in the half court. We just have to be able to execute on both ends, and that was the difference. They're a championship caliber team who the mountaintop and know how to win at a high level, even when they're down, they don't get rattled. So that's what teams like that do.
What impressed you about Holiday? We obviously had to defend him a little bit. He defended you a little bit. I mean, just what impressed you about him on both ends?
Yeah, I mean, he's just an unreal player on both ends. Can score at all 3 levels. It's just unbelievably good.
They ended up with 23 threes. How much of them is just shot making, and what stands out to you about what you guys might not have done well enough?
Yeah, I mean, I think a team like that makes you just rotate. You got to kind of trap on a pick and roll, and it starts to get you in rotations. They have shooters everywhere, 1 through 5, and you can't really make a mistake rotation-wise. And we made a few of those tonight, and they made us pay.
Through, again, 3 games without Tyrese, 3 games plus, I guess. I mean, what do you guys look at and say, well, this is the biggest issue that we're having, getting used to who you do have and how you have to win with the team that you have?
Yeah, I mean, without Tyrese, I feel like and this is not a shot at me and Andrew, but just we don't have a true closer. And someone to kind of slow us down and go get us a bucket or get an assist. And I'm not saying me and Andrew aren't capable of that, but Tyrese does that at a high level. And not having him, and especially not having Myles the last couple of games, missing his shot blocking, it's been hard, but like I said, we're not going to make excuses about it. We got to find a way to get some wins and hold down the fort while he's gone.
I guess the last thing, how important was it to get Myles back and get him like that, to get 30 out of him and him being at that level, right?
On both ends, he makes such a difference. He's the anchor to our defense, and on offense, such a mismatch. He rolls, switch. He can post up guys, and then his ability to shoot. It's a mismatch nightmare, so we're extremely happy to have him.